Hi. So you'd like to get rid of your panic attacks. First of all, it makes sense to learn more and as much as possible about panic attacks. So how about if we discuss shortly first what a panic attack actually is? To understand that, can you try and imagine with me something now? Imagine that you are walking on your own. You're walking home from somewhere and it's dark and there are street lights, but they are quite dim and they may be flickering and there are dark areas in between those street lights. So in this kind of scenario, you might be slightly anxious because you're on your own. But you wouldn't necessarily be overly anxious about anything because you know the area and home is near and so forth. You are quite confident. But you might be slightly anxious because of the situation. And suddenly, from somewhere, from behind a corner, someone jumps in front of you. A madman jumps in front of you with a knife in his hand, and he's screaming and he's shouting and he's clearly mad, clearly just about to try and stab you with that knife. You would panic, wouldn't you? You would panic in that situation. You would have a fear reaction, and you would jump and you would run faster than ever in your life, maybe. Or perhaps you would fight. It depends on many things, of course. But one thing is for sure, you would react fast somehow, wouldn't you? You wouldn't even think what you're going to do. You wouldn't even maybe know what you're doing until later you start thinking about it and you remember, oh, I did this and I did that. Anyway, you take yourself to the place of safety from that situation, and when you are there, there's no threat anymore. You would still have all kinds of sensations and symptoms, wouldn't you? Your heart would probably be beating like mad, and you would be breathing fast, like hyperventilating, like and you would be shaking, you would be sweating, and many other things, and you would also have a fear of that madman who tried to stab you for no reason. But one thing is clear. Although you would be feared and worried, you wouldn't be worrying about the sensations. You wouldn't be worrying about the reason you were frightened, because you know exactly why you were frightened, and you know exactly why your heart is beating like mad, and you know exactly why you're sweating and so forth. You wouldn't worry about the fear reaction. You would only worry about the madman in there. Fear reaction actually kept you alive. It gave you the energy. It gave you all the means you needed so that you could react fast even without thinking. That's a fear reaction for you, serving you. Now imagine another kind of situation then. On another day then, you're walking again, on your own maybe, or yeah, let's assume that you're walking on your own somewhere, and you may be in a street, it's bright daylight this time, or you may be in a supermarket or wherever, and suddenly, without thinking or without having any worries in the world, just suddenly have all those same sensations that you had when that madman attacked you. So your heart would be beating like mad, and you would be hyperventilating, and you would be shaking, and you would have the fear. But only this time there is no madman. You don't know why you have this reaction. So in this situation, the reaction itself is the threat. And because you don't know what causes all those sensations, the reaction itself is the one that maintains the fear, and it makes you frightened even more. So you would actually develop a fear of fear, wouldn't you? Because you wouldn't understand what caused that. But if you think about the reaction now, when you are hopefully calm and not overly anxious right now, think, was the reaction, the fear reaction, was that the enemy? You had your heart beating fast and you were breathing fast and so forth. You were frightened. Well, the reaction itself actually kept you alive. Kept you alive in the situation where that madman attacked you. And in a similar way, on the the other situation where you had that fear reaction in a supermarket or wherever with no obvious reason, the reaction itself actually is okay. That's one of the things I'm going to teach you. But what triggered that reaction was the fear. And that is the very first thing I teach my patients, that fear is the enemy. Anxiety response itself is not the enemy. So how to get rid of this fear then? Well, you just have to learn somehow that there is no need for fear. It's easy to say. It's very easy for me to say, of course. But believe me, people do learn that. And there are 5 simple steps is all it takes. I teach people those 5 simple steps. First they have to learn what their enemy is, and then they have to learn to challenge their own fears. Then they have to try and test what they have learned, and then they have to do something very, very paradoxical. I'm teaching all those things. So if you are interested in learning more about these things, please visit my blog, which is panicsite.com, and the web address is below this video. Visit my blog, and also what you can do is you can download your free copy of Anxiety and Panic, where I explain many things about anxiety and panic that you may have not known before. So it doesn't cost anything. You just go to my blog or to my site and download it for you for free. But as I said, please visit my blog as well and comment and ask questions and whatever. Hope to see you there. Okay, take care. Bye bye.